Hey, good afternoon. It is Saturday, January 11th, 2025. I'm now working again on my truck, 2005 Dodge Cummins 3500. And I'm going to be taking off the fan clutch, which is right there. And there's plenty of videos on how to take this off, so I don't go into all kind of technical detail. But for right now, I'm going to start working on the fan shroud. I already took off the bolt there, took off another bolt there. Took off a bolt here, and then bolt there. And after that, I'm going to take off the electrical clip and kind of loosen a little bit and get some room to try and start twisting out the fan clutch. I know there's a big leak under here too, and I think that leak is from RPMs revving up. It's getting a little bit worse. I've already, a couple of months ago actually, I tightened up the oil pan bolts. So I don't believe those are where the leak is. The leak is coming up somewhere up higher. I'm guessing it might be even the crankcase cover, I think it's called. I don't know, we'll see. After I take off the fan clutch, I'm gonna do an inspection of all of that. All right. Just one little side note, taking off the electrical connector. I just got through taking it off. It's kind of simple, but little trick. Not really a trick, but you press this, I don't know what you call it, a lever down up here. And what I did was I used a needle nose pliers to grab it and pull it out like that as I'm pressing that button down. So just a little tidbit about that, because sometimes I watch other people's videos and they don't go through detail on how to take off some of these clips, and I always have a hard time on it. All right. So just another tidbit. I got the universal fan clutch tool here from O'Reilly back on New Year's Eve. However, these two parts here, number one, I don't really know how to use it, but when I set this part in here, these two knobs are too wide to fit between the fan clutch and the bolt. So what I had to do is I had to go into my own tool case and get another tool I used to have, and this I used to take off, I think it was a timing gear, I don't remember, for a car, for one of my cars. So one of my previous videos I used it. So what I did was, oh yeah, and also the fan clutch tool came with this as well, which is really handy, obviously. So this is the end that I'm using. I think it was a 36 millimeter, I don't remember. But where are you at? There you go. So I'm putting it onto the fan clutch there. And it's not showing up very clear. Apologize for that. But then what I'm doing is I'm putting in this other tool to grab the water pump area. Grab those two bolts there, and then I torque the fan clutch loose, holding both. So I got it loose right now. I'm gonna twist it off by hand. We'll go from there. So I twisted the fan clutch off, so you can see here, and along with the fan shroud bolts taken off, I'm gonna see, based upon other videos I watched, to take out this whole unit, to take the fan clutch out with the fan. So I took out the fan clutch, or the fan and the fan shroud, fan clutch, fan, and the fan shroud. there. This was a pain to get out. So here's the new fan clutch. I'm replacing it with the old one. That part's pretty straightforward. However, after taking it out, now I'm looking for the leaks. And so, trying to follow where leaks would be coming from. I'm guessing this mechanism here is like a fuel pump. It looks like, I'm guessing it's a fuel pump. And in front of that fuel pump, there's a lot of oil coming out of it. I don't think that's diesel fuel either. I think that's oil. I think that's where my leak is coming from. Because if you look at the rest of the pulleys, I mean, there's no oil in the rest of the pulleys. There's no oil on the serpentine belt either. So, I mean, there's no other oil. Everything else is all generally kind of clean. But I'm guessing that bolt here is loose. I don't know. I'm thinking that's where the oil is originating its leaks. It's really sunny and reflecting. It is complicated to see without even taking out the whole front end cover here. But I'm gonna go through, tighten it up, and clean it up the best I can. And just kind of go from there. I don't know what else to do. I tighten up the rest of those bolts too. I don't know if that's it. All right.
Amount of investment that they put in with the number one overall pick. So, you've got to make him, and forget the team being successful. Like, if you come in there and transform and the Bears defense is great, you go 8-0.
This is looking at the engine, like right at the front. So here's where the fan clutch came off of. Here's the crankcase or dampener. It's right above the fan clutch. You see anything? Any leaks? So I don't know. I can't really tell exactly where the leaks are coming from. I mean, even in back of this, where the fan clutch pulley is at, it's relatively clean. It's just the leak starts to begin around this area. It's leaking onto this. I don't know if that. I think it's a power steering fluid. I can't tell. To go up, it's relatively clean, kinda. And this is the passenger side. Generally, it's kind of clean. I don't know, man. So all I used for this job was a 10 millimeter to take off bolts related to the electrical support, 13 millimeters to take off the fan shroud bolts, the needle nose to pull out the electrical plastic connector, actually these two, this one here just to kind of wedge in between. Here's the pulley tool along with a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. And I have this other tool that I used for, I think it was a belt tensioner I used for my other car. Mainly use it because it's skinny to get in between in between the bolts. This fan clutch kit came with these 2 additional items, but the width between here and here couldn't fit between the fan clutch and the fan itself, or the pulley. So I wasn't able to use that. That was about around 90 bucks, but oh well. So the biggest part of this job, or actually, yeah, the hardest part of this whole job was really for me catching thread with that freaking bolt there, that 36-inch bolt here. So now I finally caught it. So I'm gonna go ahead and thread it on, and I'll go through and tighten it up with that fan clutch jiggers, fan clutch wrench, or whatever you want to call it. And this job should be almost done. I still got to connect fan shroud bolts and the electrical connector down there, and that's about it. So I went on ahead and reestablished the electrical connector, connected the 10mm bolt into the bracket along with the electrical connection going into this groove here in the fan shroud, and then now twisting the fan blade, making sure no wires hit. Feels good to me. I can feel there's clearance. You know, maybe a little less than ½ inch, like maybe 3/8 inch clearance. Got the flat fan shroud bolts bolted all in. As you can see, those are done. That should be it for these major pieces. Still got that oil leak. I can't figure out where the oil leak is coming from. So my check engine is still on. I took it for a test drive, probably about a mile around the block. So I don't know what the difference would be. But anyways, here's Mabel again. Say hi, Mabel. Spinning. On. I think I'll have to really put it under stress because you can see a lot more oil leak. But for right now, what happened was that I took it down the block, RPMs go back up, creates a stress on the engine, and the engine starts to leak oil only after about a quarter of a mile. And now this time I drove it a mile. I don't see any oil leaking. Maybe it has something to do with the fan clutch. I don't know. But either way, relatively simple fix. Again, I don't have any power tools. Well, I do have power tools, but I didn't use them on this job. I also don't have any air tools. Just simple tools. It's a good way to learn a little bit of the mechanics of just twisting wrenches. Best way to start is the basics. But right now just learning off of YouTube. And I'm gonna have my son drive it for the next couple of days just to monitor it and see how it goes. But for right now, the job is done. Alrighty, sounds good. I will talk to you later, or I'll write another video later probably. Say bye, Mabel. Oh yes. Go Cardinals. Woo. Well, Cardinals and ASU, but the season's over. Playoffs are starting tonight. Vikings versus, oh my gosh, I forgot. No, that was Monday. Vikings versus Rams. Tonight is Steelers and Ravens. I don't know who to go for. Anyway, football time, boys. Talk to you later. Say bye, Mabel. So I also wanted to mention that the fan clutch part cost me about $280 from O'Reilly, and total work performed took me about 2.5 hours, maybe almost 3 hours. But if I was to redo it again, it'd probably take me about an hour to hour and a half. It really isn't that complicated. If you're comfortable turning wrenches, you can do it. The biggest thing, obviously, as I said in the video, is twisting the fan clutch onto the what is that? The water pump bolt. Just threading it on. I had a hard time with it. I had to take it off and check to make sure that the threading was correct. So that might be something that you should do before putting the fan clutch on, is just to put the fan clutch on itself without the shroud, twist it on, see if the threading is correct. I'm sure it is, but it's a Murray part from O'Reilly, and it just takes a lot of patience. Otherwise, the rest of it was pretty simple. Right now, I'm watching the Chargers-Houston game. Texans winning. Well, Texans in the lead, third quarter. 6.5 minutes left, 6:42 of the lead. So, but anyway, just wanted to kind of highlight those aspects. I'm sure everybody's wondering what these parts cost, but again, it's about around $280 for me from O'Reilly, along with buying the fan clutch tool. It was about almost $90, like $89, I think it was. So not too bad. I do love my old truck. It's an old truck, 2005 Cummins. I know a lot of people want to get newer vehicles, but when you compare maintenance costs over time, I probably average about $2,000 to $3,000 a year versus a monthly payment and maintenance for a new truck of about maybe $10,000 to $20,000 a year. I probably about $20,000 a year for it. So not only that, I don't really use my truck very much for heavy hauling, just mainly going from point A to point B. Once in a while, hauling hay, wood, or water. That's about it. But obviously, getting a newer truck, you're paying for reassurance, trustworthiness, so it won't break down. My truck, generally, it's pretty trustable. I trust it. I like it, and it's not too expensive, but at the same time, it is. I do worry about taking it onto long trips, especially with hauling a load, but I like it. It's a good truck. But anyway, just kicking back, me and my puppy, watching playoff games, watching football. So hopefully your team does well. Talk to you later. Bye.